solve the type problem by choosing object array, how to solve size problem by using growable array algorithm. Also, we learn how to find size of the collection, how to find capacity of the collection. And also we have tested and we draw memory diagram how the growable array algorithm is working. Right? Right. Now today we will try to understand Sun Micro system given first collection vector. All are ready? So can I expect you have worked on Java 8 new features? Default method, all you understood? Functional programming? Functional interface also completed? Okay. Any questions if you have, you can ask. Object class methods? We no need to implement them, na? We no need to implement those methods in the subclass, right? Interface implementation class inherited two abstract methods. One is our own method, M1. Another method is from the object class. Okay, now two string method. Suppose two string method we declare and it is inherited to implementation class. Do I need to implement it or not required? Because it's already inherited from the object class as a concrete method. Na? Already explained that point in types of inheritances chapter. Go and check once. If a method is coming from interface signature is equal to super class, no need to implement that method. So because the method is coming from object class is already concrete method, the abstract method declared inside interface with the signature of object class methods, no need to implement in the subclass. So the methods which are available from object class to functional interface are equals to the concrete methods, are equals to default implemented methods. So not required to have that method. Clear your doubt? Any other questions? Not possible. No, lambda expression doesn't have a name. Define or cannot define. What did you learn? First, you tell me that. Don't question me. What did you learn? What did I taught there? You can create or cannot create? Can create. Then I gave explanation. What is your further doubts? Yeah, we can create lambda expression. Lambda expression refers to whom? Abstract method. Who is the abstract method there? Your method M1 is the abstract method. Java.lang class method, abstract method you created is not abstract method, right? It is a concrete method. Where it is available? Object class. So when you invoke that abstract, that concrete method by using lambda expression reference, it is executed from which class? Object class. That's it. Clear? Come on guys, let us understand. Today we are understanding vector class. Doubt clear? Na? Check with the material. Check with the notes program. Write a program. Lambda expression you created with abstract method. Then you call M1 method. You are seeing an interface. You are calling method by using interface or by using implementation class. Runtime polymorphism you have to consider. Na? Method is executing from where? Implementation class. In implementation class, already interface object class signature abstract method is inherited from object class as a concrete method. Na? Understood? Then the method searching wherein? Inside interface or in subclass? Not available. Then where it will check? Object class. Object class method already available. Na? Then it will not go to interface. Interface is always second priority. Na? First in extends super class not available, then only implements interface will come. No, Mutahir, it will throw error. If the method signature is same, compiler will throw error. Sorry, default abstract method will not throw error. Abstract method, why it will throw error? You are implementing that method in the subclass, no? For a default method, you will get error. For abstract method, you will not get error. That's why I told you, learn types of inheritance chapter properly. If you don't learn types of inheritances, you will get problem with Java 8 features. First, you watch them. Multiple inheritance based. So many test cases I gave. Practice once. Come on, guys. So now we are trying to understand vector class. And tell me, what is a vector class? It is a legacy collection, collections framework collection. Is it available from 1.2 version or 1.0 version? Vector class is available from 1.0 version. It is available from 1.0 version. In Java 1.0 version, we have only two collection classes. Number one, vector class. Number two, hash table class. For storing objects in array format, we have a class called vector. For storing objects in key value pair table format, we have a class called what? Hash table. Only two classes are there. Then these two classes are having several problems in storing and retrieving objects. To solve those problems, in Java 1.2 version, Sun Microsystem has defined additional classes. Okay, na? That additional classes are array list, linked list, okay, tree set, hash set, linked hash set. All these classes came from 1.2 version. From 1.2 version onwards, the new classes are called collections framework classes, and old 1.0 classes are called what? Legacy collection classes. What is a vector? Vector is a legacy collection class or legacy collection object. It's a legacy collection object. What the use of vector? Vector is used for storing objects, storing multiple objects. Including duplicates. It allows duplicates. Including duplicates. In which order? In insertion order. It allows us to store objects only in insertion order. You must remember this requirement. For example, you have 4 vehicles in your house. You have cycle, you have bike, you have car, you have bus, you have lorry. Multiple vehicles are there. Then which vehicle you will take? You are going outside. Which vehicle you will take? Come on. Based on the requirement, based on the situation. Only you alone wanted to go out. Then you can use either cycle or bike or car also. Okay. Now you want to go just next shop. Then what vehicle you use? Cycle. You want to go some around 5 kilometers. Amirpet you want to come. Then bike. You want to go some long distance, 10-20 kilometers. Then car. Right? So based on your situation, you are choosing the vehicle. Same way, we have 18 collection classes are there. Based on the situation, you have to choose the collection class. Which collection class I have to choose? You have to remember the requirement. My requirement is storing multiple objects as a one group, including duplicates. I want to allow duplicates also. And in which order I want to store? Insertion order. Insertion order with index. Index is compulsory. Insertion order with index. Very, very important. With thread safety. With a thread safety. What is the meaning of thread safety? I don't want to allow 2 threads at a time to access my object. I want to allow only 1 thread to access at a time my collection. Then which collection I have to use? Vector. Then choose vector. What is a vector? A vector is a legacy collection object. Okay, what the use of it? It is used for storing multiple objects, including duplicates, in insertion order with index with thread safety. You have to remember this requirement. Otherwise, you cannot understand when to choose which collection. I told you collection programming is nothing but knowing the requirement of in which order you want to store, in which order you want to retrieve, and with thread safety, without thread safety. These requirements you have to collect. Okay, then next, the third point. If you want to create a vector object, I need to know how many constructors available in the vector class. Vector class provides 4 constructors for creating vector class object. How many constructors? 4 constructors. Vector. What type of objects you want to store? I will decide it later. V1 equal to new vector of. Look at there. How many constructors are there? Okay. There are totally 4 constructors. No param constructor, collection parameter, initial capacity, comma, capacity increment. By seeing these 4 constructors, can you please decide what type of collection is created? Which constructor I have to use to create vector object? Tell me, vector object means background internally object array created. Na? When I create our NIT collection, also background object array created. With what the default capacity? Come on, how many locations object array created? 10 locations. Now, if you create a vector object, how many locations vector object you want to create? That is called default capacity. Always vector is nothing but collection. Collection is nothing but default capacity. Only the main point we have to consider. I want to create an empty collection with the default capacity 10. Then which constructor I have to use? No param constructor. Construct an empty vector so that its internal data array has a size 10 and its standard capacity increment is 0. Okay, 0 means double background. Even you don't specify anything, it will increase by double. Okay, so I am choosing first constructor. Tell me, when to choose second constructor? It creates a 0 elements collection or a given collection of elements collection. When you pass collection as an argument, does it mean store collection or elements of this collection? Elements of this collection store in the current collection. Then what is the size of this collection or capacity of this collection is equal to vector. I mean equal to the past collection object. If the collection object contains 10 elements, this new vector capacity also 10. If it contains 20, this new object also 20. Okay, next. I don't want vector capacity 10. I want less. 5 elements only I am storing. Then the size should be what? 5. Or I want more, 20 I want at a time, or 100 I want. Then I have to specify size of the array. How can I pass the size of array as an argument? So you are passing initial capacity as an argument. If you pass initial capacity argument, is the default capacity 10 or given capacity? Given capacity. Okay. No. Tell me, if I don't mention initial capacity, what the initial capacity? 10. If I don't mention incremental capacity, what the incremental capacity? Double. 10 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 80 will be there. Now, I don't want increase by 10, 20, 40, 80, unnecessary, double capacity, size, space is wasting or not. I want to decide the size incrementing. Every time increase by 5 locations or every time increase by 10 locations. I don't want double every time. Unnecessary space will be wasted. So in that case, you can also specify incremental capacity. So totally how many constructors are there? 4 constructors available. So based on your decision, based on your requirement, you have to choose one constructor. I'm choosing no param constructor. If I choose no param constructor, and tell me how many locations vector object created, then how many elements I can store. If I try to store 11th element, now is there any problem? Its capacity will be grow to what? Double. Double means what? 20. Let us try to see now. First, I want to display capacity of this object. Tell me, how can I display the capacity of any object? Come on. Capacity. Capacity. I want display vector object capacity. V1 dot capacity. The method is what? Capacity. Again, sure, our class method and vector class method capacity both are same. Yeah. Okay. Either you write or Sun Micro system write. You are implementing same algorithm. Na? You write deposit method, Sun Micro system write deposit method. Name of the method will be what? Deposit. I want to find size of the vector. Excuse me. V1 dot, what is the method I should call here? Size. There is a method called size. Tell me. Now, I want to add, okay, I wanted to keep on, excuse me. I want to add elements and I wanted to check the capacity size changing or not. How can I add objects in the array, vector? Add method. Add up. I am passing double quote. Say, what type of element is stored now? String type. Now, then control F11. Stored or not? Yes. Capacity is 10. Size is what? 1. Capacity means number of locations. How many values can be stored? And size is what? How many elements are now stored? How many elements are stored? 1. Now V1 dot add of, okay, B. Now tell me, is B is a string object? It is also string object. It is also string object. They are same class objects. Same class objects are called what? Unique objects. And both objects are called what? Homogeneous objects. These are homogeneous objects and these are unique or duplicate? Unique objects, because their type is same but data is different. They are unique objects. Tell me now, if how many constructors are there in the vector object? 4 constructors for creating vector object. 4th point. If I create a vector object, what is the internal algorithm for storing objects? What is the implemented data structure and algorithm for storing elements? Come on, implemented. You know already, implemented data structure. Implement data structure. Growable array. Next, what is the default capacity? Can I take shortcut? Default capacity how much? 10. What is the incremental capacity? Double or plus 1. When double, if the incremental capacity, if the default capacity is 0, can I double the capacity? 0 into 2, what the size? 0. That's why we'll go for what? Plus 1. Okay, na? Either 0 or double. Okay, double or plus 1 will be there. Not double plus 1, double or plus 1. If the capacity is 0, then plus 1. If capacity is 1 plus 1. Capacity is 2 onwards, double will be there. 0 or 1 will be just plus 1. Next, tell me. 6th point, what type of elements allowed to store? All four types of elements are allowed to store. What are the 4 types of element? Homogeneous, heterogeneous, unique and duplicate. All 4 types of elements are allowed to store. Let me try. V1 dot add of double quotes A, V1 dot of double quotes B. Next, V1 dot add of. Now I am writing here 5. Allowed? 5 is what type? Integer. 5 is intra by 5 is in, but add mother parameter is what? Object. So it's converted to integer. Now it's a homogeneous or heterogeneous? Heterogeneous. Heterogeneous object is also allowed to store. Look at that. Size increased to what? 3 means stored background. But every time I am just adding, but I am unable to display the elements. So if you want to display elements, I should write what? V1. Elements V1. Now observe now, if I display V1, what is displaying now? Observe elements. So initially no element, that's why empty. Empty collection is created with the capacity what? 10. Now I am trying to display elements now after adding. Every time I add the elements, what happen? Observe. Elements, and I am displaying what? V. I'm just writing that statement here. Observe now. First, what is the element? Empty. Okay. Then after adding 1 element, 2 element, 3 element. Every time storing right side, right side, right side. Right side, right side, right side storing. Right side means what? This is which order? Insertion order is maintaining. How many elements are stored here? 3. Now 3 elements are stored. Now I am trying to store 6.7. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed. 6.7 is what object? Double. Then heterogeneous. Heterogeneous object is also allowed. Are you following my point? These all the questions will ask in the interview. You must answer. Single quote P. Single quote P is what type? Char. Reference type is what? Character. Can heterogeneous object stored or not? Yes. In which order? Insertion order. Now I am trying to store duplicate object, double quote say. Allowed? Double quote say. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed. Why? Vector is used for storing objects including duplicates. Here new string object created, old string object passed. Means pooling is applied but duplicate is also stored. Can I store 5? Yes. Duplicate object, not only string, wrapper class object also can be stored. Now here the same 5 I repeated here. Tell me what happened. String pooling is applied and new integer object with 5 stored. Pooling is applied. Wrapper classes are comes under pooling up to byte range minus 128 to 128, minus 128 to 127. Between the numbers will comes under pooling. Means if you repeat the same number again, new object is not created. The same old object reference will be stored. 5 is storing. Okay. Now if I try to store 6.7, then what happened? Tell me. 6.7 is also wrapper class. Here pooling will come or will not come? Will not come. Why? Why pooling will not come? 6.7 is not in the range of byte. Look at the 6.7 also stored. Okay, na? 6.7 will not come. Everyone understand? 6.7 is what type? Double. Control F11. What value coming now? 6.7. Now reach it to what? 8. Tell me, can I store null? Is null allowed? Yeah. All 4 types of elements are allowed to store: homogeneous, heterogeneous, unique and duplicate objects. And 7th point is what? Is null allowed? Yes. Null is also allowed. Null is also allowed. And how many? Come on, how many? Only one null is allowed, more than one allowed? More than one allowed. Why? Including duplicates, right? Or you can say multiple nulls are allowed. All these points are compulsory asking written test questions. You should know. Then only you will be good at collection programming. Null is also allowed. Multiple nulls are allowed. Can I store here true? Boolean value. Tell me totally how many values are stored now? 10. Size reach to what? 10. Now I am trying to store. One more value. Say our own class object I am storing, or else you can take false. Okay, I am trying to store false. Allowed? Allowed. Then tell me, what is the capacity now? Double. Look at that. Now the capacity is what? Double. Capacity double. And size is what? 11. Can I expect everyone comfortable? Tell me. Can I store our own class object? I am writing new example. Okay, let me store null. Can I store one more null? Yes. Okay, then multiple nulls are stored, duplicates are allowed. Okay, can I store our own class object new example? Directly can I pass object? Yeah. New example of I am passing 5, 6. Now here program compiled or not compiled? Why not compiled? Because all these classes are predefined class object. But this new example is predefined or user defined. I have to create this class by my own. What the shortcut to create the class? Whenever you got error, cannot find symbol, what the shortcut? Control 1. What the error? What the shortcut? Control 1. Create class example. Yes. Example class created. Inside this class example, I want to create what? Tell me. Example class is found, but constructor is not available. Then I want to create constructor by Eclipse. What the shortcut? Control 1. Remove arguments? No. Create constructor? Yes. With what arguments you want? X and what? Y. X and Y arguments I want. What logic you want, right? The given parameters you want to store in class level. This dot X, this dot Y equal to Y. Save it. Now X variable not available, throwing error. What the shortcut to generate the field? Control 1. Create field X. Control Y. Create the field Y. Okay. Next, I want read X and Y values further. After initialization, constructor only meant for initialization. I want read or I want to change. What I required? Setter getter methods. Then control shift yes. Generate setter getter methods. Where is this? Alt A, Alt R. Setter getter methods are generated. Now, tell me in the program compilation, compile time error solved or not? If I display collection object, what collection object is displaying? Each object state, right? When I display collection object, what you have seen? A string object with the data A, string object with the data B. That means background collection object displaying the state of each object or not? Tell me. When I display collection object here, now it is displaying example object also on the console. Then example object 56 displayed, class name at the rate hash code displayed. Class name at the rate hash code will be displayed. Why? If you want to display data of an object, what should be displayed? ToString method must be there. In a string class, in all wrapper classes, ToString method is there. So when you display vector object, background println method is calling ToString method on vector object. Inside vector object ToString method, it is calling again ToString method on each object available in the vector object. So in a string class, we have ToString method, ToString method, ToString method, ToString method, ToString method. That's why the state of the object is displayed. In our example class, we don't have ToString method. That's why state of the object not displaying. So if you want to display state of the object, what I require? I must also override ToString method. So now I'm generating ToString method with the two properties X and Y. Now I am taking, now by default, Eclipse is giving example class name bracket, square bracket, X equal to Y equal to. If I leave the ToString method as it is, vector object also state displaying square bracket. Our class object are displaying with what? Square bracket. It's a confusion. That's why I am changing square bracket to what? Parenthesis. Save it. Now it's easy for us. Oh, this is an example class object with state X value 5 and Y value 6. So finally, what you understand working with vector class? Okay, right. Can I add more multiple objects of our class? Yes. Tell me, is it a unique object or duplicate object? Everyone should answer. Unique or duplicate? It is unique and also duplicate. It is a unique object based on reference. It is a new example. This is another new example. With a reference, it is unique, but with the data, it is what? Same. Now, here, if I store example object, it is stored again. So reference-wise duplicate, state-wise it is what? Reference-wise it is unique, state-wise it is duplicate, but still it is stored because duplicates are allowed. Any confusion up to now? Null is also allowed, multiple nulls are allowed. Okay, now I want to ask another question. A vector is a legacy collection object. It is used for storing multiple objects, including duplicates in insertion order with index with thread safety. What the meaning of thread safety? Tell me now. Third question, is vector synchronized? Vector is synchronized, means at a time all its methods are declared as synchronized. Then at a time only one thread can access vector object. Every time when we call its methods, what happened? Vector object is locked. Tell me. I have called here what? Add method. Okay, first I call capacity method. Look at the F3. Capacity method is what? Now size method, F3. Size method is what? Synchronized. Next, add method I call. Add method is what? Synchronized. Any method of vector class you take, all its methods are what? Synchronized. Because of synchronization, our vector object is locked and only one thread is allowed to access at a time. Next, fourth question. Is vector object ordered collection or unordered collection? Vector object is, or vector is ordered collection. Why it is an ordered collection? Because it stores all objects in insertion order with index or without index? With index. Okay, so these are the 4 points about what? Collection. Then further I want to create object of the collection. To create object of the collection, first I should know constructors. Vector class provides 4 constructors for creating vector class object. Then if we create object, what the implemented data structure? Growable array. That means every time when size reach to capacity, it means we don't get array index out of bounds exception when size reached its capacity. The capacity is increased. Okay, how much is increased? What the default capacity? 10. What the incremental capacity? Double or plus 1. Okay. Or all elements are allowed once the capacity, once the this one is vector is ready. What type of elements are stored? All 4 types of elements are allowed to store: homogeneous, heterogeneous, unique, and duplicate. Then next, null is also allowed. How many? Multiple nulls are allowed. Then next important question. If I store objects inside collection, in which order elements are stored? All objects are stored in which order? What the meaning of insertion order? It means in the order add method is called. Okay, in which order add method is called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In which order add method is called? In the same order elements are stored in the collection. Okay, next tell me. In which order elements are retrieved from the collection? I want retrieve elements. Now after storing all the objects, we have observed all the points. Now I want retrieve. In vector class, we have a special method called what? Get. By using get method, can I retrieve any index object? Yes or no? Yes. I am displaying elements of the collection V. Then now I am calling V dot get of 3. Which element has to come out from this collection? Look at that. This is the collection. Which element you have to get? 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 means what? 6.7. Now I am writing system dot out dot println V dot get of 3 because the written element I want to display. Look at that. Random access element are coming or not? No, sir, I don't want random access. I want sequential. I want retrieve all elements available in the collection. Then in that case, what you do? Simply, I will call this SOPLN statement in the loop. This is which accessing? Random access. I want retrieve sequential. Sequential access. Sequence access means what? Simply I should call get method in sequence. Start from where? Array index start from 0. Collection index also start from 0. Int I equal to 0. I less than, what do you write? V1 dot. Tell me, I should retrieve the elements up to capacity or up to size? Capacity and empty locations also will get. Current capacity is what? 20. How many elements? I have 13. So the excess 7 locations default value what? Null. Why I want null? Those nulls I added or not added? Not added. So I have to call up to only v1 dot size. v1 dot size I plus plus. And then v1 dot get of 3 na I. I want to display each element in a single line plus double quote slash control F11. Now look at there, all elements are coming or not? AB5 6.7, PA5, all are coming in random or sequential? Sequential. How many ways we can retrieve element? We can retrieve, or you can say it supports both random and sequential access. Both random and sequential access. So can I expect all people understand up to now? Okay. Tell me, are these points are new points or known points? All these points we have experienced in our custom collection. Na? Just we have changed what? Class name. Okay, tell me now. Observe the capacity method logic. What we have developed in our collection here also same. Element data dot length. First of all, understand the vector class internal variables F3. It is a extending from abstract list, implementing from list interface. Look at there. Internally vector class contain what variable? Object array. What the name? Element data. Next one more variable, int variable of what variable? Element count. We taken variable name as size. This fellow taken as what? Element count. And internally it contain capacity increment. I don't want allow the user programmer to specify capacity increment, but vector class is supporting that implementing capacity increment. Okay, and then constructors, we have 4 constructors. Then now I call constructor after, whenever new keyword you call, it provide memory to how many variables? 3 variables. Element data, element count, element increment. All default values are stored. Then constructor is called. Which constructor? No parent. Do you know what this concept? What is this concept? Anyone in the class? Constructor chaining. Which constructor? Same class int param constructor chaining. F3. And now int param constructor is what? Default initial capacity. What the capacity you are passing? 10. Oh, and by default JB means by default vector class creating internal array with what initial capacity? 10. This dot this of initial capacity comma 0. When you don't specify the capacity, now they are taking what? 10. When you don't specify capacity increment, how much they are taking? 0. This of tell me now. They are verifying if initial capacity less than 0. Can I create array object? No. Throwing exception. Then now, if the value is not less than 0, 0 or greater than 0, then the new array object is created with initial capacity and capacity increment 0. Tell me, the same code we also written. We have hard coded 10, but they are not hard coding 10. They are asking the user to pass the value. Okay. If you don't pass, they are hard coding, but I am not giving chance for other programmer. If you want to provide all the 4 constructors, can you also write the same logic here? You enhance it. Then next constructor created object reference is written and stored in V1. Can you visualize the complete vector object memory diagram? V1 box, vector object with 3 variables, element data, element count, capacity increment. Element data variable value null, element count 0, capacity increment 0. Then the constructor called. Constructor create object with 10 locations, all default values null, and reference 2020 stored in element data. Element count value default value 0, and increment value also 0. Then the 10 stored in V1. So V1 pointing to array with how many locations? 10. Now tell me, V1 dot capacity. Capacity means how many objects can be stored. So we have to find the length of the array. So element data dot length. Then next size. Now the size value what? Element count. So element count value is what? 0. 0 is written. And then V1, tell me, when you display vector object, internally what method is called? ToString. Did we override ToString method in our NIT collection? No. In our NIT collection, ToString method overridden? No. Then if you display NIT collection object here after size, what will come? Elements will come. Come on. Elements will come or hash code will come? Call hash code will come. NIT collection at the rate hash code. If I display after all 10 elements are stored, if I display, what will get again? NIT at the rate collection. Again, if you display, what will get? NIT collection at the rate hash code. But if you display vector object, are you getting vector at the rate hash code elements? No elements are there. What return? Empty square bracket. If element is there, that element is coming. What should I do if you want NIT collection also display like this? I should override toString method. Shall I? Okay, I want to override toString method in our NIT collection to display like this. In last class, I told you how many operations you can perform on collection? 10. First operation, add. Now we have developed add method with the growable array algorithm. Second, count. Count purpose, size and capacity method. Third, printing. Did we develop print operation? No. Is the print operation available in the collection already? Yes. But interviewer asking question, develop your own custom collection. To develop your own custom collection, all these methods you have to implement. Na? So shall we try? To develop this toString method to override, I want to override toString method. To override toString method, you should have good knowledge on string handling. Did you complete string handling? Are ready to involve? What is the target of toString method? It has to return the collection state to println to print on console. Tell me, println method can print any data in their original format or only string format? Okay, this is my collection. Collection contains what? Element data. Now it contains what? Object array. With how many locations? 10 locations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now reference of this one is what? Caller. Call variable. With reference is what? 10, 10. And this reference is what? 20, 20. 20, 20 stored pointing. 10, 10 stored pointing. And also we have what variable? Size. Size value 0. And the default values in all these locations are what? Null. Null. Null, 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 null. Hey, online students, following? This is our collection. Now what I did, I have written a statement, system.out.println call. Then internet is calling call.toString. ToString method earlier not there, executed from object class. Now it is available. Then what it return? Super.toString. That means toString method executing from super class, and you will get same message, class name at the rate hash code. Understand? You want super class logic or your own logic? What is our own logic now? I have to, from this method, I should return what? String. This string object must contain values of the collection. Tell me, in the collection, in 0 location, we have string object with A, string object with B, integer object with 5, double object with 6.7, character object with a single quote P. Directly we have what? Null. Am I going fast? I am going slow, you are coming. I am going fast, you are coming slow. If you also speed up, you will also understand, okay? All the points are known points, it's not a new point. And then next we discuss duplicate object A. Ye do order, okay? No, doesn't worry about order. A. Then A is following what? String pooling. New object not created. I stored 5. 5 is stored what? String pooling. Here the 5 reference is stored. 6.7, separate object is created with 6.7. Okay. And then true I stored. For a true Boolean object is created. Like this, all these objects are stored. Then now what should I do now? I want return collection. Can I directly write here collection? Come on, everyone. Can I directly return here collection? This is semicolon? No. Why? This type is what? Current class. Now the return type is what? String, not match. Now inside this string, inside this pointing object, elements I have to return from this program. Further, I have to create one string object, copy all these elements from the collection object into string in the string format. Na? How can we convert one object to string? By calling what? ToString method. On every object, we have to call what? Background? to string method. So simple logic. Come on, chaka write down. You have to develop what? Copy logic. Read values from array. Read values from array of the collection and copy into string object. First, I should create what? String. 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 Result string equal to what I should write now? New string. Or simply write double quotes empty string. One empty string I created. Empty string created. Then now I have to return what? That empty string. Result a string. Following right. Then if you return string, what will you get? Empty string will be displayed. You want empty string or result? Result. Listen. If the current object, this dot size is equal to this dot size equal to 0. That means any elements available in the collection are not available. Then they're gonna write directly empty string. Come on, empty square bracket and no elements na F11. Look at there. When there are no elements, I got what? Empty string. If elements available, should I return empty string? No. I have to collect the elements into string object and return right. Collecting is nothing but what? Copy. Copy the elements available in the collection into string object. For that, I have to write for loop. No. How many elements available? I don't know. For loop, start from int I equal to 0. Everyone should participate fast. I less than. How long I should travel? Up to capacity or size? Size. I plus. Then I should take the element from array. What the name of the array? Element data of index number I. Then I have to copy this element into where? String object. str dot. There is a method called concat na? Concat of element data of I. str no result string. Copy paste. Result string dot concat of element data of I. Babu, element data is what type of variable? Object. But concat method accept what type of value? String. So you have to convert it to string. Element data of I dot to string. Am I going fast? Any confusion? I have written simple for loop. Copy the values from array into string. So how to copy? First take values available in the array. How can I take element data of I? Now pass to the concat method of string so that this object will be stored inside string. But the problem here is what? Element data of I is of type what? Object. Object cannot be passed as the argument to concat method. Concat method parameter is what? String type. So I have to convert string. How to convert string? By using toString method. Samajh mein aaya? Then once this for loop is completed, all elements available in the collection are copied into string object and I am returning the string object. Control F11, you will get null pointer exception. Why null pointer exception not coming? Oh, I have not stored null anywhere. I have stored null in the vector program, but I have not stored null in here. So let me store null. Call dot add of null. Or else let me remove here and I am adding null here. Control F11. Look at there what I got. Why I got null pointer exception? The element coming from collection in the loop is what? Null. Element of I value is what? Null. Null dot to string. What happened? Null pointer exception. Tell me, how can you handle null? Try catch. Sachipondra meeru. Jump from 5th floor immediately. All people go. Worst fellows. How to handle null? Not equal null if condition I should use. Here I am checking the coming value is null. If null, return directly null because I don't want to miss the null. That is also element. In the string format, I am returning null. Else I am converting to toString method. Control F11. Now we don't get null now. But why elements are not coming here? Because you are concatenating to what string? Is a string mutable or immutable? Immutable. Every time what it will do? Every time when I call concat method, new object is created. A stored here, AB stored here, AB5 stored here. Okay, now finally res result is storing to which object? Empty string. Now tell me, what is the solution to this problem? I have to write here result string equal to result string dot. So the concat method return result every time I have to store in result string. Control F11. Look at there, you got output AB5 6.7 true. Why you are getting like this directly? Because every time I'm concatenating the element with spacer, without spacer. Tell me, every time I have to concat one space, right? Double quotes, comma, space. Control F11. Look at that. A comma B, 5 comma, 6.7 comma, true comma, E comma. Are you catching my point? Now, you want to place all these values directly in a? No. I want to place it in the bracket. So first bracket here. After for loop completed, what I should write? Result string dot, result string equal to result string dot concat of double quotes, close bracket, semicolon. Now observe, you got open bracket and closed bracket. But there is a problem. End of the last element, I am getting unnecessary comma space now. This comma space should be there or not there? Not there. Okay. Before removing that comma space, I want to ask a question. Is this code gives fast execution or slow execution? Slow execution, because string is comes under immutable. Every time it is creating new object. Then I don't want every time new object. What code I should write? String buffer, string builder. String builder I should use. Why? String buffer is a thread safe. String buffer is thread safe. That's why we have to take what? String builder. String builder of, now I should write what? SB result string dot append of double quotes, close double quotes. Right? And here what I should write? Result string dot append of close double quote. Tell me, when I call append method, should I assign to the variable? Not required, because string builder is mutable. Every character will go on store in the same string builder. Then here, do I require to write here assign to the variable? No. What the method I should use? Append method. When I take append method, we no need to handle null. Append method implicitly handle null automatically. This access code I no need to write. Easy enough now? Programmer life become easy enough? Right. And then now finally all the data is stored inside string object or string builder object. Can I return string builder object from toString method? No. Then what I should do? I should convert toString method. I should call Control F11. Somewhere error coming. Semicolon miss. Look at that. All elements are coming correctly without null pointer exception. Now the question. Now the last comma space I don't want. Then before appending the bracket, I should remove that last comma space. From where? String result string dot. Observe, is there any method called remove? Is there any method called remove? No. Is there any method called delete? Yes. Delete, it is asking start to end. How many characters you want to remove? What you want to remove? Last comma space. Last comma space is the start. Last comma space is what? Start. And end is what? Start plus. From the start, how many characters you want to remove? 2. Start comma 2. How can I find the start? Start equal to, do you remember there is a method for finding the index? What the method? Last index of and last index of. Last index of double quotes comma space. Find the index of last comma space and return to this program. Start method value is what? Come on. Comma space, last comma space index you will get as start. Then start will be the start and start plus 2 last index will come. Finally, look at there, comma space is removed or not. So you have to practice this example already. I am not teaching again. I'm just using string handling chapter knowledge. If you have not practiced, go and practice again. If you feel that not understood what is happening, that is not my mistake, it is your mistake. I didn't write any logic. Just I have built the logic by calling predefined methods. Hope you already know predefined methods. If you unable to understand this code, it is not my mistake, it is your mistake only. It is a string handling chapter related code. You must have already completed videos and you must have remember all the methods, what the purpose of each method. If not completed, practice, you will understand. So finally tell me, we able to override to string method with the logic to return and display what? String data, nothing but collection object data. However, we have vector class data is displaying. However, vector class data is displaying. Same way, we also able to develop. This is a fixed logic you by heart. Let us try to see in vector class how the toString method is implemented. So dot toString of F3. Look at that. ToString method is calling what? Super dot toString. Who is the super class of vector class? Abstract collection. In abstract collection, they are not using for loop. They are using what? Iterator. Either iterate, reuse, or for loop use in the implementation logic is what? Same. Now, if there is no elements, there is no element, written what? Square bracket. If elements are there, if at least one element is there, then create what object? String builder. Append with what? Square bracket. Now, if there are no further elements are there, close the bracket and return toString. Are catching my point? If any element is there, that element as it is, you stored inside string buffer object sb.append. They use a ternary operator for a different purpose. Don't worry about that internal logic. Okay. If the element is not last, if still elements are there, append comma space. If no elements are there, append last bracket and return. So same logic they implemented, but the style of implementation is different. Save it. Now observe now. Our collection class contain. Now the third operation also. What is the operation? Printing. So the first operation is what? Adding with a growable array. Second operation is what? Size. Third operation is what? Printing. Daily, if you don't practice, you will not understand. When you are not understanding, please don't blame me. I am going fast. Okay. So you have not properly practiced at home. You are spending your free time for other subjects to practice, not to core Java. That's why you are facing the difficulty end of the chapters. Okay. Operation number 1, what is that? Adding objects with growable array. So after going to home, practice again. Everything you will understand. If still you have doubts, draw memory diagram and practice. Still, if you have doubts, next class you ask, I will explain. Operation number 2, finding size of collection. Operation number 3, displaying all elements of collection. Displaying all elements of collection. So to display all elements of collection, I should convert collection to string object. Instead of string, I have used what? String buffer for concatenation purpose, appending purpose. Appending to create only one object. So it's a simple for loop code. Already this logic is explained the regular string handling chapter in a different style. Now I have explained with collection. Okay. Now let me move to the next story. So tell me, what is a vector? What the use of vector? Everyone understand? Vector is a legacy collection. It is used for storing multiple objects, including duplicates in insertion order with index with thread safety. Vector class provide 4 constructors for creating collection vector object. It implemented data structure is growable array. Default capacity 10. All 4 types of elements are allowed. Null is allowed. All objects are stored in insertion order. It supports both random and sequential access. Okay, sir. Once you store objects in the collection, I have to retrieve those objects. Right. On vector object, I am performing different operations. Please try to answer. Here, what operation performing? Operation number 1, adding. Adding with fixed size or growable array. Adding objects with growable array. Okay, all objects are added. Then what are you doing here? Operation number 2. Are you defining operation or accessing? Accessing. Operation number 2, finding size. Actually, we are finding capacity also, only we need to find size. Size of vector. Then next, operation number 3. Displaying elements of vector. Generally, we don't call objects, we call them as what? Elements. Displaying elements. 3 operations. Now the 4th operation, tell me, once you store objects inside collection, operation number 3, we will retrieve the element, na? Operation 4. Operation 4. Retrieving elements from vector. How? 2 approaches. Option 1, random. Option 2, sequential. Okay, sir. Up to now, if you have any doubts or confusions, please ask. Please, if you don't understand this 2-stream method implementation, don't ask me. I cannot do anything. I have explained with the diagram also. Code, if you don't understand, it is not collection code. This is what? String handling code. What operation I did here? String buffer object created. And what operation I did here? I copy the elements available in the collection into string buffer. What logic I have written here? Removing last comma space. And finally, converting string buffer to string and returning. Simple code. If you sit for 5 minutes on this code and write the diagram, everything you will understand. Okay, na? Right. Come to the story now. Tell me, up to here in the vector class, every point understood? Any confusion? Intern ask a question. How can I add objects to the collection? What will you do? Tell me, this is operation number 0. Why 0 means? Creating collection object. With the default capacity 10. Okay, how many? If intern ask a question, how can I create object of a vector? By using the constructors available in vector. We have 4 constructors in the vector for creating object. Okay, no param for creating empty collection with the capacity 10. Tell me, I want to store all types of objects. Look at there, I got yellow color symbol, yellow color mark, na? Because vector is a normal collection, generic collection. Generic means what I should write? Angular bracket. What type of objects you want to store? All types. Then I should write what? Object. Look at there, yellow color is gone. Vector collection is a generic collection. When I don't write generic type, compiler asking you didn't mention any type there. So it will throw error. It's not error, it is what? Warning. If you write here, okay, I want to create vector of objects. Then if you write here Angular bracket object, all types of objects are allowed to store in vector. So that's what I'm storing. Then operation number 1, adding. Operation number 2, finding size. Operation number 3, displaying. Operation number 4, retrieving. So tell me, up to this program we have written to show all the 11 points are not? Is it comfortable? One time if you practice, today if you practice this all the points of vector by writing this diagram in your system, then tomorrow remaining collections will be easy. I clearly told you that one collection if you practice, then other collections are easy. Because all collections are what type of collections? Runtime polymorphic collection. One collection if you learn, remaining all program is same, but internal implementation diagram only changing. Remaining all points are same. Now I want to understand operation number 5. What the operation number 5? Come on. Searching, finding, searching for the given object. It's a little difficult. Ready to understand? Searching for the given object. How can I search for the given object? System.out.println. Observe now. V1 dot, there is a method called what? Contains. Hope you remember what the method contains. What he wanted to find, I want to find for the object 5. Tell me. Now, contains method is searching for which object? Contains method searching for which object? 5 array. Is a 5 object or data na? What the object? Integer. Contains method searching for integer object with the data 5. Where? In the vector object. In the vector object, if contain method found integer object with the data 5, then what it will do? It will return true. Else returns what? False. Everyone understand? It returns true. For example, if I give here, say suppose 7. 7 found or not found? Returns what? False. Samajh mein aaya? Right. Next. If I write here true, true there? Yes. Returns what? True. True because of true? No. Because found returns what? True. I am passing what? False. Do you have Boolean object with the data false? Yes. Returns false na? False or true? True it will return because element is found. Now I'm giving here double quotes A. Found? Double quotes A is a data na object? Hey, data. It is searching for which object? String object with the data A. It's searching for string object with the data A. String object with the data is available? Yes. Then returns what? True. Now. Ardhamautunda? I am giving here capital A. Why false? Vector object doesn't contain string object with the data A. Hi, with the data A is available or not? Java is case sensitive. But you're getting now false. I am not looking at your faces because you are very, very slow in receiving the content because you are not practicing with proper flow. Okay, na? Always you are by hearting the points what I have explained today. Tomorrow you are coming to the class with what? Fresh brain. So you cannot understand because to understand collection, so many previous chapters knowledge is required. That previous chapter knowledge you don't have in your mind. If I revise the previous chapter points, then your mind after 5 minutes may connect. That much time I don't have. That jamana completed, okay? Everything revising previous chapters and then explain collections will take 1 year to complete. Because collection has every chapter to practice. Every chapter touch is there. So that's why when I am explaining why it is returning false, I will explain. Are you following? If you can accept, receive and remember previous chapters, what chapters I am using here, revise and come tomorrow. Are you following? Tomorrow also, if you don't revise and come, next chapters will be, next programs will be difficult. Next programs I will consider you know already everything, then I will go. Collections is the damn easy chapter if you are good at previous chapters and good at speaking the current chapter. And if you practice at least one program on collections in depth completely, next programs will be easy. So collection chapter making easy or difficult, it is in your hand. So today if you work, tomorrow will be easy. If you work today and tomorrow, day after tomorrow will be more easy. So why you are got false? You should remember, array, Java is case sensitive. Small a is not equal to capital A. I have stored in the string object small a, string object with small a. Acha, okay. Next, I am writing here something like this. I am writing here P. True or false? True or false? P is there or not? Yeah. Here, what there? P is there, na? Why you got false? You are trying to search for what? String P, but we have stored. That's why I'm asking, don't pronounce the data 5 is there or not there or no. You have to pronounce integer object with the data 5, integer object with the data 7. Boolean object with data true, Boolean object with the data false, string object with the data A, string object with the capital A, integer string object with the P. No, that is char object. Then you'll get what? False. Now tell me, I am writing here 6.7. 6.7. Yeah, 6.7 there, na? 6.7 is available as double object, but I'm searching for what? Float object, not available. So returns false. Next, tell me. Very, very, very danger. Null. A job. If you pass a null, it leads to null pointer exception. Na? If you got null pointer exception, that is right implementation or wrong implementation? Tell me, contains method will have null handling or not? Null handling will be there, and it is comparing null with what? Null. If null is available, returns what? True. Already available. So we're getting what? True. The next dangerous point, I am searching for example object with the data 5,6. Example object with the data 5, 6 is available or not? Yes. Yeah, you will get a true or false. Come on. True or false? True. Excellent. What you got? True or false? What did you understand from this wrong output? You told true, but JVM is telling false. Contains method telling false. What did you understand? I should not show my talent. What you should understand? Bolo. I should not show my talent. What talent? Talent is what? Read it in English. Contains method searching for new example of 5, 6. New example of 5, 6 is available. Available. So returns what? True. Don't show your. Don't read this program in English. You have to read this program in Java. What you are asking contains method? Contains method. Search for example object with the data 5, 6 in vector object. How search method? How contains method can search? Does contains method has eyes like you? It is searching like you, going A, no B, no 5, no 6.7, no P, A, 5, null, true, false. Hey, example, you are there. Wow, wonderful. Comparing with your eyes. Eyes working? No. Background, some logic is there. When wrapper class objects and string objects are found, why our class object is not found? Oh, there is some internals we need to learn on contains method. What is that internal? How that internal works? How many searching algorithms are there? Which searching algorithm is following here? That points we'll discuss in tomorrow class. Is it clear? So today I have preponed holidays. So today maybe some people have seen the message, not seen message. I don't know. I don't want much trouble. So this much knowledge is sufficient for today. By tomorrow you are coming to class. I want you understand how I implemented toString method. What is happening background. By heart this logic and come. Pakka, by heart. If this dot size equal to 0, return empty string. What am I doing? If the collection object is empty, directly returning double quotes or open bracket, closed bracket. Okay. Then if the collection has some elements, what should I do? Those elements I should return. How can I return elements as a string? To return as a string, first I should create string object. Why this fellow Hari Krishna created string builder? String is immutable. Every time creating new object. String builder is mutable. So every time it is appending. So like this you have to pronounce yourself and then practice and come tomorrow. Understand? Following by this program, you should also practice what? Vector. Tomorrow, I will ask all these 11 points. Tell me something about vector. Are you catching my point? Forest fellows. I'm talking something about Tumri fellows. I'm talking now. I'm telling something now. Then why you are talking? Slap him first. Slap him first.